Hey, what's up YouTube? Edwin, the Comic Jabroni, coming at you with another haul video, pickups video that I've made in the last week and a half. If you watched my video a couple videos ago, I told you about a guy in San Marcos, which is about 30 minutes away from me, where he had a back room in his store just full of comics that he couldn't sell anymore. And he knew that I've got video games that I was willing to trade for comic books. So I showed you some of the books that I picked up the first time that I went there, and I went again. We talked on the phone again. He was interested in some more of the games, and since I'd been up there, I knew there was some more books that I just didn't get a chance to pick up that first time. So I went up there and I went up there twice actually, and I spent 2 hours the first time just going through books, picking out things that I knew I wanted, and then I went again during the weekend on a Sunday, and I spent probably another 3 hours just going through more boxes. I've got some video of what that storage room looked like and what was back there and everything I kind of had to go through. It was 29 long boxes and 13 or 14 short boxes. You'll see here. Check this video out. So you saw that there was there's a ton of stuff back there. I spent a lot of time going through a lot of older books, but I did pick up some really key books again. Like I told you, this guy's got a lot of good stuff back there, and he was willing to trade for some of the games that I have that I just don't play anymore, and he was going to give me full value for the games on this trade. So that kind of got me excited to go in there and see what I can get. A lot of these books I really wouldn't have the opportunity to find out in the wild. I've never seen them out in the wild. Even when I go to my local comic shop, I never see these books. So I've got two different sets here. I've got the set that I picked up from that guy in San Marcos, and then this last weekend I went to the flea market. There's a guy out there. He sells every weekend, but he's got my number, so he texts me when he has some good Joker cover. He knows I'm a Joker fan. I'm a Batman fan. So he'll text me during the week saying, hey, I just picked up some good Batman books or some good Joker books. Come by this weekend. So I was able to go out there this weekend and pick some stuff up. So just wanted to show you. So we're gonna start off with some of the Batman books. Not many. I did pick up a big run of early 70s Detective Comics, which are awesome. But I just kind of wanted to show you some of the key meat and potatoes ones. There's only 3 of them that I'm really gonna show you. That the first one being this Brave and the Bold Batman. See, do you enter the House of Mystery? So this is and I really didn't know it when I saw it, but I had to do some research, and this is a very key Neil Adams cover. Nothing really key inside of it other than being a Neil Adams book, and those are always sought after with Batman. Another one I wanted to show you was this Detective Comics 526. So if you read here at the top, it's Batman's 500th appearance in Detective Comics. It's a bigger book, and you can see it's a $1.50 book. Back then, during this time, a lot of the books were 50 cents. So this is a bigger book. Also in this book, this is the death, I believe, the death of Jason Todd's parents. So one I had to pick up. And this book I'm showing you, this Detective Comics 458. Nothing really key about it other than it is a double cover. And I was going through the books. I was putting them in brand new bag and boards. I was, kind of flipping through them to make sure they weren't too tore up. And lo and behold, this book had a double cover. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put this one. I'm going to put this one up just for a placeholder, and I'm going to show you what I mean by a double cover. So there's that first page, and then when you open it up, there's another cover, the same cover. So that's pretty cool. This is the second book that I've actually gotten that's a double cover. I'm gonna send this one out to get graded. Even there's nothing really key. It's a it's an early 70s early to mid 70s detective comic books. Let me see, what year does this say? It came out in 1976, so mid 70s. So I'm gonna send this book. I've never had a double cover sent out to get graded. So I want to see kind of how that process goes. So that's pretty much it for Detective and for Batman that I wanted to show you. I'm gonna move on to the Marvel books. A lot of you are gonna know. Some of you actually might know this one. Right off the bat, I picked up this Marvel Spotlight, Werewolf by Night, number 2. This is the first appearance of Werewolf by Night. I have never really been a Werewolf by Night fan, don't know much about him. But when I saw it, I knew, gotta get it. Because you just never know with Marvel doing everything they're doing. You never know when they're going to get into the horror genre, and they'll do a Werewolf by Night. So I picked this one up, and while I was at it, he had Werewolf by Night number 1. When I saw it, I said, you know what, Edwin, you should definitely pick that one up. So first appearance of Werewolf by Night, and Werewolf by Night's first solo book. While I was digging through, I did see that he had some Wolverine books, so I picked up this Wolverine number 8. That is a classic cover with Wolverine and Grey Hulk. And while I was digging through, he had a nice Wolverine run. So I kind of I went through and I picked out some of the cool covers and stuff that I just didn't have. And then I got this Wolverine number 10, which is a key book because it is the first fight between Sabretooth and Wolverine. And this is when Wolverine doesn't have his metal claws. This fight happens before he gets the metal claws. So Wolverine 8 and 10. He also had a good run of X-Men. So I went in and I picked out a lot of the X-Men books. Right now I'm just going to show you some of the key books that I got. I grabbed this Uncanny X-Men number 130. This is the first appearance of Dazzler. And like I said, you gotta be cognizant of what the MCU is doing, and now especially with Fox selling all their X-Men properties to Marvel, you never know when they're gonna bring the X-Men in. Dazzler could be somebody that they bring in, especially with them trying to push their female heroes. Dazzler is one of them that they could be doing. I also picked up, and you're gonna recognize this book right off the bat, that Uncanny X-Men 141. This is part 1 of the Days of Future Past. Didn't have this book, and I definitely wanted it in my collection. And while I was at it, I picked up part 2. Part 2 of that Uncanny X-Men. This is Uncanny X-Men 142. This is part 2 of the Days of Future Past storyline. And still digging through the X-Men books, I found me a X-Men 221. This is the first full appearance of Mr. Sinister. Now, if you saw the Days of Future Past movie, you know that they kind of had a little cameo appearance for Mr. Sinister. He wasn't in it, but one of his the Essex Company was in it, and that's his company. That's his last name. So Mr. Sinister could be a big deal in the upcoming Marvel movies. He did have a good run of these giant-size books. He didn't have giant-size X-Men, which I would have picked up. Still don't have that in my collection. But he did have this giant-size superheroes featuring Spider-Man number 1. This is the third appearance of Morbius. Other than that, it's not really a big key, but it's a beautiful book. It has a little rolling here that if I do decide to send this to get graded, I think a press will take that out. But it's in fabulous condition. If you see that spine, it's not too bad. Being a 1972 when this book came out, it looks in fabulous condition. This is Giant Size Superheroes featuring Spider-Man number 1. They never did a number 2, even though when I read the book, and at the end, spoiler, they kind of talk about how in the next issue, blah blah blah. Well, there was never another issue of Giant Size Superheroes. And the last Marvel book that I wanted to show you is a Silver Age key. This is Mighty Thor, number 126. See, it's a Silver Age, got the 12 cent. This is the first book of Thor after they changed over to Thor. Before this was all, I believe, Tales to Astonish, and then 126 is his first book by himself. That's a classic cover, Thor versus Hercules. It's beaten up a little bit, but what can you expect from a book way back in the 1960s? But when I saw it, I said, Edwin, you gotta get this book. So that's it. I wanted to show you from those books that I picked up in the San Marcos Hall. But like I said, I did go to the flea market and I picked up a few Joker covers. Definitely dug these covers. The first one I'm going to show you is this Green Lantern 41. It's got Joker on there with it looks like a yellowish green ring. But as you can see down here in the bottom, this was during the 75th anniversary of Joker. So just definitely love any cover with Joker on there, especially when he has somebody's gimmick from another series. So Green Lantern, he's got the Green Lantern ring. Also got this Birds of Prey 121. Another Joker cover. It's just what gets me about Joker is the chaos that he brings, and you never know what he's gonna do. Look at it. He's got a gun and it's got the bang. It says this gag kills him every time. Definitely love anything with Joker on there. And the last book I'm gonna show you that I picked up, I did pick up a lot more, but I didn't want to show you everything that I got because this video would be take forever. But the last book I got was this Booster Gold number 5. So I wouldn't call this a key, but for me it's a must-have because this is Booster Gold going back in time to try and stop the Joker from paralyzing Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. So if you know the story, and I'm going to show you my copy. If you know the story from The Killing Joke, you know that Joker paralyzes. He runs into Barbara Gordon's apartment, shoots her in the stomach, and he paralyzes Barbara Gordon. She ends up becoming the Oracle. But in this issue, like I said, Booster Gold is attempting to stop that from happening. And here's a spoiler: it doesn't happen. He cannot stop the Joker. Come to find out, he keeps going back and he keeps failing. It keeps happening. And they end up figuring out that the past is the past, and it doesn't matter what you do to it, it's still going to happen. Whether you stop somebody that first time, that action is still going to happen. So I definitely love that story. This is a good one. This Killing Joke, very controversial. They called it because back then they were kind of using women as gimmicks in their stories as far as maiming women or hurting women. So this Batman Killing Joke was really controversial because Joker went in and he shot Barbara Gordon. And if you look here at the top, mine's a 9.6, which still pisses me off, but it tells you Joker cripples Barbara Gordon. But anyways, guys, that's what I picked up this week. Not my local comic shop haul, but I did go. Like I said, I went back up to San Marcos, and I'm going to go up there one more time. He still has some books up there that I want. I still got some video games that he wants. So we're going to finish off. I'll probably go up there one more time and pick out the rest of his Batman and Detective comic books. But this is just some stuff that I picked up. Guys, thank you for watching. Hit subscribe if this is your first video. I'm dropping videos at least once a week. I'm trying to knock out twice a week. Hit the like button on this video. Drop a comment. Tell me what you've picked up. Tell me what you like. I'm definitely going in there and commenting back and liking all your comments. I appreciate everything that you guys do to help me out. And thanks again, guys. Take it easy.